Panama hats are actually made in Ecuador. Here, people call them sombreros de paja toquilla. They're hand-woven from straw. It takes an entire day for a weaver to make one, in exchange for just $5. The tedious trade has been the main source of income in this small Ecuadorian village in the Andes for over 100 years. But now, the money isn't enough to sustain these weavers, as their cost of living has gone up. Many are losing interest in the craft and leaving the country to find more lucrative work. We visited the Weavers Association of Pujío to see how one dwindling group of artisans is fighting for their livelihoods and still standing. Angelita Espinosa learned how to weave hats at 6 years old. She starts by stripping down the straw harvested from the toquilla palm plant. Angelita keeps the straw wet so it doesn't crack and uses her fingernails to split each piece one by one.
Tenemos que disminuir de los laterales, hablemos así, para que quede un solo grosor.
She spends anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes on this part of the process, going through 7 stalks for one hat. Then it's time to weave. Each artisan crafts a hat from start to finish to keep the stitching even.
Las mismas manos que tejen todo el sombrero. A veces duele las manos, duele la cintura, la espalda.
Weavers sell the hats unfinished to exporters. They get $5 for a thick straw hat that's made in a day. Finer straw hats sell for about 4 times more, but since those take around 5 days to make, they bring down their average income to $4 a day. To try and turn a bigger profit, other workers at the association, like Ramiro Guzman, finish some hats in-house. He tightens the stitches.
Entonces se les va cogiendo en el sentido horizontal, vertical, como se pueda manejar.
And then trims the excess straw. Spreading glue onto the hat gives it its flexibility. Panama hats are known to be malleable and durable.
Lo puedes poner de esta manera, o lo puedes poner también en esta manera.
After molding and ironing, machines take over to press the hat into its final shape. The signature black band is the finishing touch. Panama hats have been around for centuries. Indigenous people in South America were weaving hats long before the Spaniards arrived in the 1500s. They weren't popularized overseas until the 19th century, when they started getting shipped and worn across the Panama Canal. That's when the name Panama hat caught on. The hats went on to become a high-end fashion accessory throughout the US and Europe. Today, the craft is recognized by UNESCO, and the hats are worn daily by locals across Ecuador. An authentic Panama hat, sold online in the US and Europe, goes for over $50, but the Weavers Association sells a hat in Pujío for $14. Most of the profit goes to the finishing process, leaving weavers with barely enough to pay the bills.
Vamos a la tienda, compramos una libra de sal o algo así y ya se nos ha terminado los $5, $6. Nos toca el trabajo mucho más duro para nuestra sobrevivencia.
Angelita now spends more time tending to her small farm. Selling tomatoes is her main source of income. Weaving and agriculture have been the mainstays of the Pujío economy for around 150 years. But with higher costs of living today, they're no longer sustainable.
Cambio ahora, hace falta pagar del agua, de la luz. Antes de pronto, a lo mejor nuestros papás, nuestros abuelitos, sí podían sobrevivir, por decir, tejiendo en la tierra también.
And this way of life doesn't appeal to younger generations.
Los adolescentes no quieren mucho en la vida nuestra, no, porque uno pues ya de pronto una vida más austera, sencilla, y entonces por eso salen fuera.
The weavers themselves are abandoning the craft too. Many have left the country in search of a better life, and some switch to agriculture and other work. The association started out with 124 weavers back in 2005, but now just 25 remain.
A veces uno se siente impotente, el poder ayudar
the COVID-19 pandemic has made things worse. 30 miles west of Pujío, Juan José Paredes has seen a significant drop in visitors at his Toquilla Hat Museum in Cuenca, a city known for its straw hats.
Nosotros el año pasado llegamos casi a las 40,000 personas en todo el año. Eso quiere decir aproximadamente 125 personas diarias. Y ahora en un buen día tenemos entre 10 y 15.
He sells a range of hats, all made by artisans in rural villages across the country. But falling demand means less work for those weavers.
Si se van los tejedores, no hay quien produzca. Entonces, si no hay quien produzca, no hay que vender. Es así de sencillo. O sea, no hay, porque si no tejes, no hay nada.
Juan believes the key to preserving the craft is getting young Ecuadorians to feel connected to it.
Y detrás de mí están un poco más de generaciones que es importantísimo que les inculquemos esto como un valor. O sea, es como cuidar tus calles, es como cuidar tu ciudad, es como cuidar cualquier cosa, porque los patrimonios son de todos.
Quisiera que nuestros jóvenes amen lo que nosotros amamos, el arte de tejer, pero por el momento sí estamos en apuros.
Angelita hopes to bring more weavers into the association in the future, and above all, share the story of the original Panama hat with people around the world.
A veces de pronto encuentran en una vitrina, pero no saben de dónde viene. A lo mejor piensan que está hecho en una máquina y no es así. Son de nuestras manos, de nuestras mujeres que tejen de aquí, de la parroquia San Martín de Pujío.